Green beans, they are the most versatile of all of our vegetables. You can find green beans in lots of things. It's grown worldwide and most people like them. I want to show you the versatility of green beans and then we'll get back to how to purchase them and prepare them. You can buy them frozen, mixed with other vegetables, or you can buy them frozen, mixed with other beans, other kinds of green string beans, or you can get them frozen by themselves. Now, not only that, you can get them canned with other vegetables, or you can get them with the wax beans or the 3-bean salad, which is really nice to have on hand. Then they come seasoned in cans, not just plain. And then they have cut ones, they have the Italian cut, and they have the French cut. So we have all the different ways that we can purchase green beans. So I want to show you today how to deal with fresh ones. And the cooking of the canned ones, they're cooked already, but you do usually need to heat them up, but you're not required to. And in the frozen, whenever you use the frozen beans, you would put them in the dish frozen. You don't thaw these before you use them. And if we want to add them to stir fry, great way to do that is to put them in frozen. So we're going to put these aside and we're going to talk about the fresh ones today, how to pick those. They are available all year round, but mostly in the summer, late spring, summer, down into the fall. There are different kinds that come off during all of that. They are not hard to prepare. A lot of people think, ooh, now what do I do with these things? So this would be exactly the kind of beans you would like to pick. You see how they're even, they're not bigger in one places than the other. They have the little stem on the end that usually has protected it from getting dirty inside. So these are, and they're all about the same size, and you want to pick them about the same size because then they'll cook more evenly together when you're cooking them. And the other thing to note is that the smaller the green bean, usually the more tender it is. So now we're going to talk about what not to purchase when you're in the store. And I know that most of the time these are out, so you pick them out one by one, and it's worth the extra effort to do that. You do not want to get them like this. Now these have scars on them. That means they may have been in the bin a while and people have just scarred them up, or it could have been scarred when it was picked. We have some that have a rust on them. It's called rust, and it's kind of an orangey little touch to it. Here's a really good example right here. See up and down here we've got these other, that's called rust. And it's not like it makes it taste really bad, but why would you want to pay for this when you can pay for one that looks like this and is like almost perfect? So you know, if you get them home, you can just cut the other things off. Now this is a batch that I would not buy. I mean, I did buy them, but I wouldn't suggest that you buy them because you'll notice the ends have already been broken off. For some reason, they have the one end with it, but the top end where the stem is all broken already. There's a chance this dirt's gotten inside and you'll have to cut them off. But these are not your prime ones. And if this is all that's in the bin, go buy canned or frozen instead, okay? The beans, green beans are one of the most popular vegetables that are canned at home by people. It's just like because they are so good. So when you're going to get them ready, you will need to cut them off. You cut off each end. And beans used to be called string beans because you used to have to take this and you'd have to pull it down and pull off the string, and you notice there's no string anymore because there was this genius man who got rid of the strings on the beans. And then you can leave them whole like this and cook them, or you can cut them on the diagonal, or you can slice them into smaller pieces, or the other way is to do the French cut, which is, you know, like long cuts. And there's the beans inside, but they're not very big. And these go on to develop into beans that you take just the bean part. So you can do the long cuts, which I find rather hard to do. And then you can also just snap them off. Some people used to call these snap beans because you could just snap them off, and then you'd pull the string and you'd snap the other end and pull the string. But you can just snap them. If you can't snap them, that means they're probably too tough and you probably don't want to eat them. Now the easiest way to cook them is to get some boiling water going, and you add them to the boiling water, no matter what kind you decided to do. You add them to boiling water. You can add salt. Salt is not required. It's just up to taste. I'm one of those people that doesn't usually cook with salt, and I add it at the end, or I let the people at the table add it. Now, the one thing that I add, because of what my mother taught me how to do, is that she used to put a couple of pinches of of sugar in her green beans. And sometimes she used brown sugar, and sometimes she used white sugar. But she said that you had to sweeten the beans back to what they were. And I have a feeling that she was absolutely right. So far, I haven't found much wrong with what she's ever taught me about cooking. So you can bring these to a boil. You can leave them covered or not. You could also steam them, with your little colander thing, and just steam them until they're done. Most people love to have butter put on them once they're heated up. Now, when you're doing the frozen ones, I would just add them to boiling water. Now, this one is in a microwave bag, which is really helpful, and I think that the green beans in those steamer packages come out just as fine as when we do it on the stove. So these I highly recommend in the frozen. Now this one, the ones that have the yellow and green beans together, this is wonderful for stir fry. And what you would do is you would open this up and cut some of them for the stir fry. And you'll see how they are in here, different colors, because they come out really nice in the stir fry. And then you can just slice these up and then drop them into stir fry, especially if you're doing teriyaki. This is really good. And then you can just drop those into boiling water. No thawing necessary. So these are already cleaned for you. They're already cut up. So this is one of those things to keep. Some people say they don't like them because they kind of squeak when you eat them. But if you get butter on them and you cook them long enough, they won't be so squeaky. But they're very, very nutritious. They have 150% of the vitamin C that we need. So go to my website. I've got more information about frozen green beans. I am a proponent of frozen green beans. I am also a proponent of all the different varieties of canned, because you could have one different kind every night of the week with your family. I also have some other ways that you can dress them up and other ways that you can use them on my website. So try to get kids to eat green beans. You can also eat them raw. You just snap them and eat them. And they're really good raw, so you can put them in the lunches for the kids. So come look at my website. I got so much stuff on that one. It's one of the biggest ones I have on my fact sheets.